Welcome back to the episode of the Sports Den. I'm Dan. On this day's episode, I'm talking about Cam Newton signing with the New England Patriots. When I first heard the news about Cam Newton signing with the New England Patriots, I couldn't believe it. I never thought I would see the day that Cam Newton, with his flamboyant personality, would end up in New England with Bill Belichick, who essentially says next to nothing and is as acerbic and quiet and standoffish with people as he wants to be. But the fact that Bill Belichick is just like any other coach in this league, he wants to win. And the fact that he's willing to take a chance on Cam Newton says two things. One, that he wants to keep his playoff record going. And two, he's not completely sold on Jarrett Stidham, the Patriots rookie quarterback they got out of Auburn. This also shows that Bill Belichick is keeping up with his theme of taking chances on former star players who probably had bad endings with their former teams, but he's been able to resurrect their careers and show them the quote-unquote Patriot way. And I think Cam Newton's going to come in here and with such a chip on his shoulder that he's going to be ready to prove to the world and the rest of the league that he still has something left in the tank and could possibly return to his MVP form, assuming that he's fully healthy. And that we even have an NFL season given what's going on with the pandemic. Now, the New England Patriots, they still have some talent, primarily on defense. There was a top 10 defense. The problem is they don't have much work with on offense. So they still have Julian Edelman, but he's a few years older and he's been beat up with injuries. They don't have much of the tight end position because Rob Gronkowski is now playing in Tampa Bay after he came out of retirement. They don't have much outside with receivers because they have N'Keal Harry, who was drafted out of Arizona State last year, but his rookie season, he was injured most of the year. And they also have Mohamed Sanu, who the Patriots picked up from Atlanta mid-season last year, but Mohamed Sanu has been a disappointment since he's been there and really hasn't lived up to expectations so far. At the same time, Cam Newton will fit in nicely with this lack of talent with New England. Because if you guys remember, when he played in Carolina, it was the Cam Newton show. He didn't have much around him to work with outside of Greg Olsen for a few years and Christian McCaffrey and Steve Smith for a couple of years. Cam Newton has never really had a collection of talent around him on the offensive side of the ball. The Carolina Panthers went as far as Cam Newton took them with his arm and his legs. And I can see the same situation like that happening this year with New England. But I also expect Cam Newton, because he has such a chip on his shoulder, that he's so pissed that he's been written off by the league and everyone else, that he's going to come in there and make the most of this opportunity. He's going to maximize his opportunity with the New England Patriots this year. Assuming that Cam Newton makes the roster and is healthy, and we even have an NFL season, given what the uncertainty with this pandemic going on right now, I expect the Patriots to go 10-6 and make the playoffs as a wild card under this new NFL playoff format of 7 teams from each conference. I'm not going to go crazy like some people are saying that the New England Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, because at the same time, the New England Patriots are probably like the 4th or 5th best team in the league. Let's not forget, the New England Patriots are looking up in the AFC at the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the reigning Super Bowl NFL champions, and also the Baltimore Ravens. They also may be looking up at Buffalo, because Buffalo all of a sudden is better now. The Buffalo Bills made the playoffs last year, and they also picked up Stephon Diggs, the receiver from Minnesota, who's now going to be the #1 receiver out there. The Miami Dolphins have improved. The Jets have improved. Even though the Houston Texans stupidly traded away DeAndre Hopkins, I still think they'll be a threat, given the Deshaun Watson factor. You also can't sleep on Indianapolis now, because they made a lot of big moves in the offseason, including getting Phillip Rivers. So my point is, the Patriots will be in the mix, but we can't make them a prohibitive favorite right now, especially now with Cam Newton there. But I fully expect Cam Newton, if he's healthy, to play well, and the Patriots to make some noise in the AFC this year. But again, I'm not going to jump to conclusions to have these people in the Super Bowl, because again, I still feel like Kansas City and Baltimore are the class of the AFC, and New England is going to be in the mix, and they're still looking up at the Patriots, and they're still looking up at Kansas City and the Ravens. But I want to know for you guys out there, what are your expectations for Cam Newton this season? Will he return back to his MVP form, or will he regress and struggle given his injury history? As always, I value your opinions out there. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. We'll do it next time, and I'm out.